So the leftover materials from the recycle bin totes that I had bought, and I basically cut the middle section out, and I use that as a build-up in the greenhouse for the pots to bring the soil up, and so I can put more soil in. So anyways, I had this kicking around, and I've already made one planter pot right there, and I decided I was going to take and use this one for a different purpose. So I had a lid, which basically wasn't using because it comes with the thing. So I took and I cut the center out, and then I cut the center out of that. So basically that's what I got there. And basically what I did is I found a pot basically, and I templated it first and then cut out my opening. So this sits in there, but it only, so this sits right to about there in the ring. So anyways, what I did is I took and I screwed the top piece, as you see, fold it, and I squeezed it down to size to fit inside. So then I screwed it 4 screws, actually a few more because I put 3 here where the connection actually folds over. And another screw, and then back to the 3 screws again. And then what I did is a couple screws up here as well. There should be 4, 1 here, 3 here, to hold that together. Then I drilled a bunch of holes spaced out evenly. There's 8 bolts, and I've got those all mounted in, washered and nutted. Then I took the pump. I got a pump, fountain pump, and I took and clamped it here with an electrical clamp. Then I made up another one, a metal one here for there. And then I had to make up a plastic one here to hold the hose up, and it doesn't move, so it sits right here. And then it folds over, so basically right at the center where the pot goes pretty well. Now, what I did is I took one of those tips and I shoved it into a 1/4 inch line, and then I shoved that 1/4 inch line into the 3/8 line. So you can see the piece ends right here. There's 1/4 inch inside, and that'll all hold that in. And then so now basically take this, put that in there like that into the center. I do have to cut out a spot here to allow for the line. Voila! All right, now done. So now I've got the notch here for this line, and the notch here for that line. Now this here all should be centered, pretty well spaced. And then this pot here, this pot goes in just like that. There. Now, just plug this thing in. So I might put another clip right up here to hold the hose up higher. Or I could actually probably even shorten the hose just a little bit, because it doesn't need to hang that much. So I'll probably shorten this hose just a little. There, yeah, I took off that much. That's all I needed. I just want this here hose so it stays up the surface of the pot, because the soil will be in here. And so this will basically feed the plant, self-feeding water barrel. And then all I got to do is just add some newts to the water, which basically the nitrogen, and just make sure that I top up the water. I was thinking of maybe taking and putting a window in there so I can see where the water level is. Matter of fact, I might take and put that window right in here, put a piece of clear plastic so I can see in. Alright, so that's it for now. self-watering flower pot. Well, another thing that I forgot to mention, which I'm going to add to this clip, is that it's about the pump. So the pump I have in here has a control on it, which I'll show you, for water flow right here. So I can turn it up or turn it down. So right now it's on low. And if I turn it up, there we go. So now it's just dripping. It's not flowing heavy. So that's all I really need. I don't need it dripping that fast. So I can, like it says, I can turn this down. Yeah, that's the slower drip. And I think that's all I'm going to need on the slow. Alright, so if you're going to make one of these, make sure you get one with a flow control on the unit itself. Alright, that's it for now. Alright, so the pot is done. I basically took and I put a window in the top here. And I've glued that in. Some caulking, exterior caulking. Now I've also got some wire here that I put on just to reinforce the lid to make sure that it's going to hold. And I also put a window here on the side, and that has been siliconed in with 100% silicone, clear silicone. Now that'll have to dry, and then I can basically fill it up. So I give it about 72 hours before I can put any water in it. All right. So that's all basically ready for some soil and a plant. Alright, so that's the self-watering container, and it's also on wheels. Yeah, that's it for now. Don't forget to hit that notification button. Alright, stay tuned.